So this is something that we will focus on today's and tomorrow's session. Total, it will be 6 hours. Power BI, Excel, a dashboard. So I would expect if everyone is following the instructions, I can guarantee by tomorrow's session, you would be able to understand how to create a dashboard on Power BI as well. So any questions before we start the session? Or any expectations or something that I should take care while discussing this? All right. So first of all, so this is already done. So basically, we'll talk about how to create dashboard, analyzing HR data, and then I'll explain you about this part will be done tomorrow. Predominantly, maybe some bits and pieces of this today, but mostly tomorrow, this part. But I would say everything is really important. Excel, creating dashboards, understanding the data, because see, ultimately Excel or Power BI, whatever we are doing, these are all tools. Ultimate objective is that have to analyze the data, right? You have HR data set with you, so you have to understand which department is doing good or bad, attrition rate. We know so many KPIs are there, but we have to understand how to use these tools to analyze our data. So that's what our objective should be. And before that, I just want to have this 15-20 minutes or minutes of discussion on theory, because this is really important when we set up our steps into working on Excel or Power BI. So just bear with me for 10-15 minutes. I know it can be boring. Theory is boring. So first of all, what is data visualization? So it is graphical representation of data and information. So you must be knowing we have data that is coming from various softwares, right? So that is our data. That is not information, right? So once the data is there, that is a raw data. So you will do analysis on it. You will create some insights. Once that is done, that is information that you will share with your stakeholders, or you will share with your HR heads, or maybe some sales head or someone, right? So this has to be done using visual elements. This can be charts, graphs, maps, or anything, right? So as you can see, this one is a bar chart, right? We call this as a column chart because this is vertically aligned. When it is horizontally aligned, that is a bar chart, right? So these are some visual elements. I'll explain you when we progress in this session. This is a simple table, right? So whenever you open your Excel, whenever you work on data, this is a bare minimum expectation that your data should be in this format, right? So this is what we call a tabular data, and this is a structured data, right? So when we talk about data, it can be structured or unstructured. But when we are talking about in your use case scenario, you won't be needing to work on unstructured data. That is more of data scientists role. So you would be having these kind of data sets. This is structured, which is in tabular format, right? So you can when you open Excel, you can filter out on this and see a filter out on mail, and you will see all the rows on mail. So that is a structured data, right? So that is one thing. And why do we want data visualization? So better comprehension. So when you convert raw data into visual format, this is really helpful, right? So for example, you have a table and you have visuals. Of course, if you see on the visuals, you will be able to picturize yourself, like what data is telling you as compared to a table, right? So visual formats are always good. Improve decision making. Of course, when you have visuals, you can easily make decisions out of it. And communication, and finally rapid identifications of patterns. So ultimately what we are doing with data is we are identifying the patterns, right? So ultimately the sole goal is to analyze the data. So ultimately we are doing pattern recognition. Now that we know what is data visualization, there are some principles that we need to follow whenever you create visualization for stakeholders. For your personal projects, whatever you do, it's fine, right? So, but when you are sharing with your seniors, with your stakeholders, there are very important principles or guidelines that you must follow. One is clarity. You can create any complex visual. When it doesn't make sense, it is useless, right? So when you see this kind of design, this might be complicated, might be good for you, but not for the stakeholders. Whoever is checking the visuals or dashboard, he should be very, it should be very neat and tidy and clean. So if you see the right hand side, this is my number of restaurants in each type. So I can see very easily delivery is somewhere around 4,000, dine out is somewhere around 3,000. It is easily telling me, numbers are easily telling me what category is giving me how much, right? So this is very important. Clarity is number one priority. Second is accuracy. So if you create a dashboard, whenever you are given with a data set and you create a dashboard on Excel or Power BI, so you can create ultimate, the most amazing dashboard ever. But if it is not accurate, that is useless, right? So it is very important that you focus on accuracy. So whenever you create a dashboard, you have to cross check. So take some case studies for case scenarios. For example, this is my simple data set of 5 records. I have 5 records: gender, age, hire date, status, and department, right? So now I create a average age by department, let's say, right? So what I'm saying is back office average age is 36, IT is 22, and R&D is 32 age, right? So this is my accurate data. If I see IT, there is just one record, so average will be the same, right? So average age would be just 22 because there is no other record. So this is giving me correct. If I see back office, again it is just one record, so 36 is correct. When I see R&D, R&D is 3 records: 34, 26, 35. If I total is, this is 34 plus 26 is 60, plus 35 is 95. 95 divided by 3, because there are total 3 counts, right? So it will come out to be 32 point something. So this is also correct, right? So this is my accurate data. So what you have to do is, once you create your dashboard, you have to cross check what you're doing is correct or not. Because if you see this scenario, let's say you with this data set, you do some calculations and you came out with this graph, and you share this with your stakeholders, your HR heads and all. So they will see, oh, for R&D the average age is 39, but this is not right. The average age should be 32. This is just one example. It can be with salaries, it can be with the performance metrics, it can be with job satisfaction ratings and all stuff. There are so many things. So we have to understand if it is accurate or not, right? So this is my second principle, that you have to focus on accuracy. Third one is consistency. So let's say you create a visual dashboard like this. So if you see here, these are so many colors, like these are all rainbow. I mean, whenever you create a dashboard, you should follow a particular color coding, right? So you can follow particular website like hex coding. So I'll explain you that as well. So follow the color coding so that it is appealing to the eye. You see the left hand side, this green, red, then purple, it is not matching. It is useless. It looks kiddish, like any kindergarten or some kid is kind of playing with crayons. So this is that kind of dashboard. This is not nice. So if you see consistency, visualization should be consistent in their design and formatting, right? This means using consistent colors, fonts, and labeling. So whenever you write the text, the headers over here, like this, United States electricity supply and cost, this, so it should be consistent. For example, if you see over here, this text, this text, this text, these are all same font, these texts, because these are all similar headers, right? So the font, text, the name, and the size, everything is same for them. So it should be consistent so that it looks appealing, it is symmetric, and we are able to understand what is this dashboard is telling you about. Fourth principle is simplicity. So if you see here, I can create bar charts, I can create the scatter, I can create these kind of bubble charts. But if you see here, it is all simple and well organized. So if you see on the top, I have filters, I have slicers, then I have some pages, I have some data cards, these are some graphs. So this is very symmetrically planned, aligned, and all those sort of things which are really needed. So if you create these kind of dashboard versus this, of course you would love to have these kind of dashboards. Stakeholders will love it if it is symmetric, if it is all in similar colors, so that it is appealing to the eyes, right? So this is very important. So now we will talk about some visuals that can be in Excel as well as Power BI. So it is not just for Power BI or not just for Excel, right? So there are some visuals that I would like to tell you about. First is line chart. So these are some kind of line charts when you have a time series, and on y-axis you have some numbers, right? So whenever you want to do some analysis on, let's say, sales, what kind of sales the company is doing on month to month basis, right? So this is my line chart. So this is showing me the pattern, how the sales is growing or degrowing. You can do this for the same as employee attrition. So you want to see month on month how many employees are there in your company. In January it is 100, in February it became 120, then in March it is 110. So you can create a line chart to see how your attrition rate is going on, right? Then there is a donut chart. So donut chart is similar to pie chart. So if you see, this is my pie chart. This is very common visual. And I would say whenever you work on dashboards, this is highly not recommended. So this is something which, like if you work on projects in visualization, no one works on pie charts. So whoever works on pie charts is considered not good. I mean, if you feel something is useful, I mean something that can be done with pie chart and you think it makes sense, then you can use it. But in general, try to avoid it. Donut chart is not bad. So it is similar to pie chart as explained. It is named donut chart because it looks similar to donut. So there is a hole in between, right? And what it does is it gives you the share of a particular data. So for example, this data set, what I have seen is, it is showing me Power BI contribution is 36%, Tableau is 20%, Sense is 11%, others are 33%. So these four are all visualization tools. So what it is showing me is 36% of market share in all BI tools is Power BI. So this visualization is telling me that Tableau is giving me 20% like this. Sense is another tool, it is showing me 11%, and others are remaining 33%. So you can use donut chart, but don't use pie chart in general. And this will give you almost same logic, right? In donut chart, what you can do is you can add the total as well in the center so that it looks more holistic and complete. This one is metrics chart. So if you go in Power BI, this is more useful in Power BI. So what you can do is you create a table. You have rows over here, you have columns over here, right? So this is my metrics chart where I can expand these rows to get more information. I'll explain you. This is part of this session. So I'll explain you how metrics chart works. And this is one of the most used visual. So whenever you work on Power BI, just make note of all these things, that metrics chart is important. Definitely, whenever you work on dashboard, this will be used. I can guarantee that whenever you create a chart, like a dashboard, this is very important, matrix dashboard. Yeah. So matrix chart shows relation between two or more variables in a data set. Whenever you work on tables, right? So similar, whenever you work on, let's say, gender wise sales, so there is a correlation, like male gender is giving you this sales, female gender is giving you this sale. There is a correlation. It can be positive correlation, it can be negative correlation, it can be slow moving correlation or fast moving, right? But it shows some correlation. Similarly, matrix chart also shows that correlation, right? So then this is slicer chart. Slicer chart is same as filters. So if you have created a dashboard and now you want to filter out, so you want to say that I have created dashboard but I want to filter for January month. So you will create a month slicer. So here it will be January, February, March and everything. You will just select January, then all the data will be shown just for January, right? So this is what slicer will do. So you can say, using slicer you can filter or sort your data by clicking on the type of data you want. Unlike filters, the slicers are present as a visual on the report and let a user select values as they are analyzing the report, right? So this works like filter, but these are called as slicer charts, right? And then there is a regional map. So if you want to do some mapping on the regional basis, so there is a visual. So this might or might not be used. This is very straightforward. So if you want to have, if you have a data state wise, you can easily put that in visual and you will have this kind of data. So this is straightforward. Any questions so far?
Um, so I wanted to understand slicer charts. If their main feature is to act like a filter, what kind of a data representation can be done with a slicer using slicer?
So ultimately, the objective of Slicer is to filter out data. So whenever you create a dashboard, so you want to filter out on a date. Let's say you have 10 years data in your dashboard. You just want to see for financial year 23-24. You will filter, you will add a slicer, you will add financial year 23-24. You will select that, and all the data will be just for 23-24. Or you can create a slicer as explained for month. So you want to see for January. You want to see for, let's say, just one state. Let's go for Kerala. So you want to see data for Kerala. You just filter out Kerala and you will see data only for Kerala, right? So this is just like a filter, but it is not a filter because these are just a visual on the report, and you can select the values when you filter out that.
So,
So
the other thing that I wanted to understand, so is it used in combination with other kinds of charts? Because what we see here is a columnar representation, and this is purely the visual representation that I'm talking of.
yeah.
Can it actually be used in combination with other charts? Like, for example, if in the dashboard itself, I have a donut chart or I have a histogram, so then can it be used in combination with that?
Yes. So this is a good question. You will always use slicer charts with the combination. So anyways, if you're not using with any
Okay.
other visual, it won't make any sense. So for example, this is my slicer chart, right? You can see here.
Mm-hmm.
Here I've selected Andhra Pradesh and Goa. These two states are selected. But if it is not used with any other visual, this won't make any sense to you, right? So
Yeah.
what kind of interpretation you can do with this, right? You need
Okay.
more visuals. As you said, you can have heat maps, you can have histograms, you can have donut chart, you can have these matrix charts, you can have anything. So I'll explain you this as well in Power BI session. So this will be explained
Okay.
tomorrow. But
Thank you.
this is important. I mean, this will be used in all your dashboards. As I said, for metrics chart, slicer charts will also be used in all the dashboards. Without this, your dashboard is incomplete.
Okay. So, thank you.
Great. So yeah, regional map is also done. So if we go to the next visuals, these are also important. Bar charts, combo charts, area charts. So as you know, these are called as bar charts. And if we have the building kind of charts, these are all called column charts. So this is column chart, this is bar chart. And when we have two buildings in one combination, this is my combo charts, right? So if you see over here, I can see for the country wise, what is my population, what is my GDP. It is easily explained using bar charts, right? So I can see one color is for population, one color is for GDP, right? So bar chart plots numeric values for levels of categorical features as bars, right? So my y-axis will always be categorical feature, right? So if you say you have two columns and both the columns are numeric, you won't be able to create the bar chart. You need one column as a categorical. So if you don't know the difference, so categorical is when you can't count, when you can't add, right? So numbers can be added, right? It can be decimal, it can be whole number. So those are all numbers. When we talk about categorical, categorical is like the text, but these are all categorized. It can be, let's say, um, like departments, R&D, IT, sales. These are all categorical, right? So it should be, y-axis should be categorical so that you can like create a bar chart for each and every category. Again, if I used a filter chart with this, so as discussed in the previous slide, so I have a slicer and I slice on India, right? So if I select India, then all these data will be like removed. Only this data will be shown because this is India. So that's the use of slicers. You can filter, you can not filter, you can semi filter depending on the requirements. So that is how it is used in combination, right? Similarly, there is no nothing to explain further in combo charts. It is straightforward. You will have two things. For example, you want to see sales as well as profit for each and every state, so you can have a combo chart. And if you want to compare this year's attrition, for example, you want to see how many employees are there month on month versus last year month on month, so you can create this combo chart. So you will have April, May, June, July, and blue bar will show you this year's employee count. This golden color will show you last year's employee count. So this is how you can compare this month's employee count versus last year's same month employee count, right? So that you can see month on month what is my, is, are my employee count increasing, decreasing, so and so forth, right? Area charts are not much used, so if you don't understand this, that's fine, but it is very easy if you understand line chart. So as explained previously, this is my line chart, right? So whatever is the area under this, if I highlight that, that becomes my area chart, right? So if you see here, there are two colors. Green is my last year sales as seen on legend, then orange is somewhat this year, ty is this year sales. So you want to compare last year's versus this year sales, or in HR you would say attrition or some other metric. You can use these kind of area charts for that, right? So area chart, it emphasize on the magnitude of the change over time. So if you want to, capture the magnitude of those features, then area chart is a very good idea. Now coming to last three visuals, this is also very important. So if you want to understand the correlation, so whenever we work on correlativity, like if there are, let's say, 10 x variables and we have to compute the y variable, we see multicollinearity between the x variables, right? So this is what you can use. This is my x-axis, this is my y-axis, this is my correlation for each and every category. So there are three categories: yellow, red, and blue. So you can see these three, how each other is correlated to each other, right? The relationship between the two variables is called their correlation. So if we understand the definition of scatter plot, they are used to plot data points on a horizontal and a vertical axis in the attempt to show how much one variable is affected by another, right? So if, let's say, you want to see how your like a work experience of employee, how it impacts the performance. So you have a data set where in one column you have employees number of years of work experience, another column shows his rating. So out of 5 you get 3, 4, whatever is the rating. So if you plot these two columns, you will see the correlation and you will understand if the person who is having more experience is getting more ratings, or is it not necessary. So you can understand using scatter plots, right? This is not very important, but it's okay to know. Like funnel chart, this is a type of chart which is used to visualize data that flows from one phase to another, right? So if you want to in it, it is mostly used in B2B SaaS sales. So if you want to see like how many leads were generated through website, and out of them how many got converted, so that kind of stage to stage funnel chart you want to create, you can use these kind of charts, right? And this gauge chart is known as a speedometer. It can be a dial chart where you can see like for example in sales. So if you have a sales team and you want to see how much target they have achieved for that particular month, so you can say, let's say this is my target for that month. Let's say this is 363K as explained here, and the employee has achieved till now is this, right? So this is my achievement, this is my complete target. So you can this is a way to represent my sales versus target. This is just an example. You can use this gauge chart in various other case studies, right? So visualization is done. So any question on this?
Yeah, so I have seen a lot of this is the first time, as a matter of fact, I'm seeing a vertical funnel chart. I have seen a lot of horizontal funnel charts.
Okay. So you're saying this one is like these lines. and then like this.
Um, well, here you it's represented with bars. What I have seen is, so typically in a stage and gate process, which is followed in case of projects,
Mm-hmm.
the way they map out in the various stages, as in which phase the project is. In that, I think I've seen a funnel chart. They call it a funnel chart,
Yeah.
and it basically funnels down from stage 4 to say stage 1,
Okay.
and not even represented by bars, but represented by spots, which are used
Okay.
majorly in scatter plots.
All right. So maybe I'm not sure about that because I have not worked on that kind of project funnel charts. But maybe this is just a way of representing. Like this much was the amount of data that you got, and this is how you are changing and going to close the things. So generally, these charts are not used much. This is just one visual that is there in Power BI. So I had that. Honestly, I have not used this also in my projects. I have done so many projects in my past 5 7 years. I have not used funnel charts in any of the project, but this might be useful if as I explained, for example, you want to um, have the lead generation kind of thing, like if you work on HubSpot and you want to see how your marketing funnel is going on. So that's something which is similar to this.
Is it more like used in recruitment, like right from the sourcing to?
That as well, yes,
funnel
you're right.
chart funnel chart I'm using to show my employee hierarchy, like in which grade how many employees are there. So there are different grades, suppose E1 2 3 4 5 like this, and the diploma holders. So funnel chart, on the Y column we have the grade and this is the numbers. So this one I'm using for the hierarchy.
So is it the same like you have horizontal bars or is it vertical bars?
Yes, it no, it's the same like you are
Oh, it's the
showing in your
same.
this horizontal.
Oh, wonderful. So that means there is a use case that you're using this in HR. Like this is a great use case where you are showing how many employees are there and then like
Yes.
employee like interview process and all those stuff can be used there.
Yes, correct. So, financial year 24, we have this hierarchy, and the
Yeah,
target for financial year 25 is this much to increase in this grade, and the other grade we can keep the same. So, I'm using this funnel chart, so I have the experience with this.
that's amazing. We can use this as well. Like once we are working on Power BI, we can incorporate this also so that everyone else can also understand that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
that's great. So yeah, about visuals, that's fine. And let's go about some overview of HR analytics. So of course, you guys are expert in this. I'm not from HR background. So if I say something wrong, just let me know. So basically, HR analytics, known as people analytics, is use of data and analytics to understand and improve various aspects of human resources management. So some of the things that can be done is recruitment and retention. So it is used to identify the most effective recruitment channels and methods, performance management, employee engagement. This can be done using surveys, analyzing them, and maybe social media sentiment analysis, diversity and inclusion, learning and development, compensation and benefits. So anything that anyone want to incorporate on that, any experience that they had. So of course you have so many years of experience on HR analytics of these things. Any use case that you found in, for example, performance management. So how, if anyone can explain how you do to track employee performance as of now? Anyone?
This performance management, we have a tool called Prism. It's
Yeah.
so there we need to complete all this KRAs, and then
Mhm.
the review from the manager, then the skip level, and the final uh, assessment.
Mhm.
Yeah, but HR analytics tool or something, we are in our organization we are not using something like this. It's
So when
directly from the system.
All right. So when you have the system, do you like import the data into Excel and do some analysis, or it's not needed?
No, actually, we have that report in the Excel. Yes, that's there. How many percentage are there in band one, band two, like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are getting that data in that Excel.
All right. So yeah. So basically, these are some HR analytics that we are working on. So these are
Okay.
important. So anything else that is missing as of now, like in HR analytics, we talk about recruitment and retention, performance that manage employees, diversity, learning and development, compensation, benefits. Anything else that part is missing from HR analytics? All right. So
No,
I
I
think
guess it's all covered.
right, perfect. So I think this is what HR analytics will look like. So some commonly used KPIs in HR: employee turnover rate. Anyone who would like to tell me what is employee turnover rate? All right. So this is the measure that tells me rate at which employees are leaving the organization. High turnover rate can indicate problems with employee engagement, leadership, or organization culture. So ultimately, employee turnover rate is the measure. This measures the rate at which employees are leaving your organization. Second is time to fill. This measures the amount of time it takes to fill open positions. So in case you like opened in position and it filled up in, let's say, 2 months, so that is the time to fill, 2 months, right? So if it is long, if the time to fill is really high, maybe 6 months, it indicates problem with recruitment strategies or maybe the tight job market. So depending on the scenario, so we have to understand what is the optimum time to fill ratio. Then we talk about employee engagement score. This measures the level of engagement and satisfaction among employees. You can do this using surveys or feedback. So you do surveys with your employees and you do analysis on it and see what is the score and understand what kind of engagement is there, what kind of things you can improve on so that employees are engaged and satisfied and happy with the work culture and the balance that they want. Diversity and inclusion metrics. So this includes tracking the representation of different groups within the organization, as well as the effectiveness of diversity and inclusion initiatives, training and development metrics, performance metrics, compensation metrics. So you guys must be aware of this, right? All right. So theory is done, thankfully. So any question on it so that we can start with the practical aspect? Perfect. So basically we will start with Excel today, right? So in Excel, we will go with pivot tables, pivot charts. First, we will understand the data, how it is. I'll explain you briefly on it. So I hope everyone has used Excel, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Just a second. Let me know once you're able to see the screen. The screen is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So this is Excel, right? So now we are on Excel sheet. I'll just brief you just a couple of minutes about what is Excel. So this is what we call ribbon tabs. So you will have home, insert, draw, page layout, formula, data, reviews, and all those stuff. Everything is worked on home. So for example, this is my table over here, and this thing is called cell. So anything of this sort is cell, and this is described as this. For example, this is what I have selected, right? So this is represented as D as my column, 4 as my row. So it is D4, right? So this will be shown here as well. right? So this is my cell. So anything over here, you can do all those kind of calculations. On bottom, you will have sheet numbers. You can have n number of sheets. You can plus add all those sheets from here, right? You can delete from here. Whatever is not required, you can hide. You can do whatever you feel like from here, right? Coming back to my main data. So this is my Excel worksheet that we call. I have headers. If you see from here in the row 1, I have header and I have all these headers till the column AN. I have all the rows from this to 1471. So total number of records are 1470, right? So let's try to understand this data first and then we'll do analysis on it. First column is attrition. So this will tell me, so first of all, every row tells me the information for a particular employee. So that means there are total 1470 employees, right? And attrition means if it is yes, that means the employee has left the organization. If it is no, that means the employee is still in the organization, right? Business travel. So if I filter, so if I click on control plus shift plus L, it will give me all the filters over here. That is a shortcut key. Now if you click here, you will see all those filters. I have non-travel, travel frequency, travel rarely. So these are the three options for business travel, right? So this is my age band. So the what is the age of the employee, under which category he, like under which band he follows. Under 25, over 55, 25 30 to 34, 35 to 44, 45 to 54. So there are total 5 groups, right? B column is again attrition label, that if it is yes, that means he is ex-employee. If it is no, that means he is a current employee, right? So a department is self-explanatory. There are 3 departments: HR, R&D, sales. Education field, in which education field he was in: HR, life sciences, marketing, medical, others, or technical degree, right? So this is how the data is. So let's try to answer some questions and then we will go ahead with this. So there are some questions. So first of all, if I want to understand what is my total employees working in R&D department, so I have to calculate all the count of employees working in R&D department. So if I go here, first way is simple, like just filter out R&D, right? And I have all the records from top to bottom. I'll just select and see the count. I'll see the count here as well in Excel, right? So the count is 961. So answer is 961. But this is very straightforward, and you have a very small data set, so that's very easy and you can do it again and again. But data can be large, plus you can have multiple questions like this. You can't do again filter and just answer that. The best way is using formulas. So basically in Excel, you can do any kind of formula mapping, so any kind of calculation. So total employees working in R&D is straightforward. If I can select, if I can do some kind of logic, like, hey, I want to select and count all those records where my department is equal to R&D, right? I want to count all those records where department is equal to R&D. That's where I use count functions. So first of all, I'll use count to count all the records. For example, I used count function, bracket open, and now here I have to add the formula. So I'll just go to sheet. I'll, let's say, select all the records from employee number. Let's say select everything here and close. This will count all the records. So this is my total employees is 1470. So this will, the count function will give me the total count. Now I want to apply a condition. So this is my condition, right? Condition is that the employee should work in R&D department. So whenever the condition comes in, I have to apply if function, right? That's why I use countif. So if you go in the Excel, so if I expand this, and if I go here, count. So you will see there are so many options of count: count a, count blank, count if, count ifs. So if I just apply if, so there are 2 options: count if, count ifs. So if there are multiple criterias, we will use count ifs with s is plural, right? So we will understand whenever there are multiple conditions, we will use count ifs. But if there is just one condition, as in this case, so we will use count if. So what I'm saying is count all the records, count all 1470 if my department is R&D, right? So now here my first parameter is range or in countf. So my countf range would be count all the employee numbers, right? Comma. Now the second parameter is criteria. So I can say my criteria is in double quotes R and D, right? And bracket closed and press enter. One second, what just happened? Oops. So I just need to apply this on my column of R&D because that's where I have to count, right? So again, I'll just go back here, select the department column, right? And then press enter. So this is what I want. So I want to count all the records from this column wherever the value is equal to R&D, right? Any question in this? Any doubt? Right. Again,
No.
yeah. Okay. So this is one example of COUNTIF. Again, now if I have two conditions is like, for example, in this example, total employees working in sales who are female. So the two conditions are like department should be sales and gender is female, right? So if I just go here equal to COUNTIFs and I go back to data and in department, I can select like this as well. Just tap on the column, right? And then the criteria one is sales in double quotes. Now criteria range 2 is gender. So again, I'll select this comma and in double quotes, it should be female, right? And then bracket closed. So there are total 189 employees who are working in sales who are female. So these are two criteria. So if you have three criteria, again, after female comma, and then you can add the criteria range 3 and 4 and 5, how many, whatever is required, right? So this is how you will use count functions. Similarly, there is sum. So if you want to do the summation, so there are sum, then sumif and sumifs, same logic. So if you have to do sum on the basis of conditions, you will use sumif and sumifs. Otherwise, straightforward sum, right? Similarly with averages, if you want to do average on that, so there is average ifs, right? So sum, count, average. These are like common use case functions. So you have to know the basics of it, right? So now there is one more important function that we work on is VLOOKUP function, HLOOKUP function. You must have heard about it. You must have worked on it. So I'll just do a recap or revision on it. So let's say you have one column as employee ID. So I have these employees that are coming from this HR ID, right? So this is my employee number column. So all the IDs are here, right? So I want to understand, like see the gender for these employee ID and departments from this data set, right? So you can use VLOOKUP function or you can use XLOOKUP function. So my favorite would be XLOOKUP because it is very versatile. In VLOOKUP, there are so many disadvantages, and I have used XLOOKUP. So do you guys use VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP? Any example, any experience on it? Anyone who can tell me that?
Yes, I'm using VLOOKUP.
Okay. Anyone else? You guys use VLOOKUP? Everyone else?
Yeah, VLOOKUP we commonly use.
Okay. So VLOOKUP is good. I mean, if it is solving your purpose, that is great. But let's understand what XLOOKUP is and how it is working. It is very simple. If you know VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP is very easy. So what you do is similarly the way you do VLOOKUP, we will use XLOOKUP. It searches a range or an array for a match and returns the corresponding item from a second range, right? So I'll just do XLOOKUP. What is my lookup value? That is 11. So that is my employee ID, right? Comma. So what is my lookup array? So where do I want to find this employee ID? So I'll go back to data. I want to find an employee number, right? Comma. Now, what is my return array? What do I want? I want gender, right? So this is my return array and bracket closed. So this is how you do XLOOKUP. Similarly, what you used to do is VLOOKUP in same as VLOOKUP as 11, and then you define a table array. So let's say I define from here. The worst part about VLOOKUP is you have to define table, right? When you're doing VLOOKUP, you have to select, let's say from here, employee number to, let's say, gender, because you have to see gender, right? Select these two columns, comma, and gender is 2, so you have to select 2, comma 0 for the exact match, and bracket closed, right? So this is how you got male. So now if you see the difference in VLOOKUP function and XLOOKUP function, in VLOOKUP, the worst part is you have to select a table. Let's say this gender was before the employee name number. So if I cut this and paste here, oh, but this is a table, defined table, so I won't be able to paste here. But just imagine this gender column is before the employee ID. Then how you will use VLOOKUP? Like, how do you guys use when this happens? So maybe what you do is cut this column again from here and paste in front and then do VLOOKUP.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So this is very like, it can be frustrating, it can be challenging sometimes, and you have to do extra steps basically using VLOOKUP, right? So straightforward in XLOOKUP, you just have to have the lookup value, lookup array, and then return array. That's it. You don't have to define table. So just try to work on XLOOKUP. Again, let's say for, I'll just yeah, copy this and paste. So it's straightforward. So I just pasted and I can get the gender for this. Similarly for department, I'll do XLOOKUP and then look up for this. Where do I have to look up? For department. So I'll just select this, comma. Sorry. First I have to select for the ID. So I'll just go here. And what is my return array? Return array is department, right? And then bracket close.
Comma 0.
No, in XLOOKUP, we don't need that. The way we did, right? Okay, so this is coming H. Here I just want my employee ID. Anyways, I just manually add table 1 and then employee number. Right? And then press enter. So this is my department for employee ID. So this is the beauty of XLOOKUP. I really love working on XLOOKUP whenever I'm working on Excel, and then paste. And this is how you can get for all the employee IDs. By chance, all the employee IDs are coming R&D. So that's what it is. Then again, there is
Atikant, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I didn't understand what was the error. Why did we not get the department in C2 at the first try? What was
what
the
I
error? I
did
didn't
was,
understand the error.
yeah, 1 second. So what I did was here, instead of this, I had this. Now the problem with this is HR data, it is going in this tab, right? This sheet, and it is selecting this column H colon H, but it is not able to identify this column as employee ID, because you remember I deleted one column from here, and because I was explaining VLOOKUP and I was trying to paste
Okay.
gender column here.
Okay.
Because of
Okay.
that, this table is distorted now. Like, this is not able to recognize this is my employee ID column.
Okay.
So instead of this, I just did manually, like I want to define this is my table 1. The name of this complete data set is table 1, right? So table name, and in quote in square brackets the column name. Column name is employee number. So whenever I type this and I'll get the search suggestions, I'll press tab whatever I want. For example, I want employee number. I click on tab. It will come and close the square brackets and then press enter.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So this is what we are working on: VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP. Of course, if you are very happy with VLOOKUP and you feel that is sufficient, just go ahead with that, because ultimately the problem should be solved. And it's not like using XLOOKUP you are saving some memory or something. Both are same. It's just that XLOOKUP is easier and you don't have to do extra steps of copy pasting, cut pasting, or whatever, right? So just letting go to other stuff. So third question was age group wise total count of employees. So if I create a age group and then do the count of total employees, then how we can do that? So first is we already have the age group column. So if you see, this is age band, right? So there are 5 bands for all the age. And where is the age column? Age column is here, right? On this basis, I can create this column as well. So first of all, I'll just try to create this kind of column if we don't have this kind of column in our raw data. Currently we have, but if we don't have, so using this age column, how we can create that? Any did you guys work with if, nested if, and all those stuff? So let's say let's go with the logic first. So I have this column, right? Age column. My problem is I want to divide all these age from 18 until 60. I want to create 5, let's say 5 age groups. First is 18 to 25, then 26 to 35, 36 to 45, and then 46 plus. So these are my 4 groups. Let's say I want to create these 4s, right? Because the minimum age is 18, right? So we will start with 18. So what I would do is I have to create nested if. Nested if is there are multiple ifs, and what I have to do is logic wise is if the age is between, or let's say age is less than 26, that means my age group will be 18 to 25. Then I'll go ahead in the next step that if my age is less than 35, that means my age is between 25 to 35. That's how we have to go with the logic. So what I'll do is I'll just create a new column, age group, right? Now it is included in the table. Now I'll just create an equal sign if my age, if I go to age column, if this cell is less than 35 or 25, or let's say 26, that means if it is less than 26, I want to create a group of 18 to 25. It should be in double quotes. So whatever text we are creating, that should always in double quotes, right? Comma. If this is true, if this parameter is true, then give me this value. Otherwise, whenever it is false, give me this value, the one we are creating now, right? So again, it will be if this value is less than 36. If it is less than 36, give me it is between 26 to 35, right? Because it will not include anything less than 25 because it's already been covered in this, right? If this is true, this is should become. Otherwise, whenever it is false, again if, and if age is less than 46, then give me the value as 36 to 45, right? If this is false, then give me greater than or 45 plus, right? So these are the 4 parameters, and close the brackets. Oops. This is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and return. So if you see here, if I expand, you will see there are 4 categories created: 18 to 25, 26 to 35, 36 to 45, and 45 plus. So everything is covered here. Any question on this?
No.
All right, perfect. So now we have created this age group similar to this. Of course, it's not same. It depends on your style of what kind of categories you want to create. So that's just for understanding purpose. Now we have created for this question age group, and I want to count the total of employees. So we'll just go straight forward. I'll just select this table, or it's already created table name. I'll just go to insert, create a pivot table. So pivot table is just like creating a new table from the existing data set. So this is my tabular format, and in the pivot, you can build report from the existing fields. So now if I select age, this is the one we created, right? If I select in rows, it will give me all the rows here, right? And now I want to add the employee count or employee numbers. So I can add employee numbers. So here, anyone can tell me what is the error in this?
It is no, can't
Not the
understand.
count.
It is getting the sum
Yeah,
of
so
all.
currently here in the values, we can see this is sum of employee number, but we want actually count, right? So this is where we change the aggregation. So if you go
Value.
to value field suggestions settings, so here I'll just change to count because we have to count the employees, right? So if I click on the count, it will count and it will give me for each and every group what is my employee count, right? And now I can sort this on the base. Let's say I want to sort this on the base of descending order on the count of employee and click OK. So this is how you will see that, right? And you can create a chart on this. So if you select here, go to pivot table, analyze, click on pivot chart. So this is how you can create. This is my column chart, right? If you want to create a bar chart, you can see like this, or I think the best is bar chart or column chart. So whatever you like, for example, bar chart, column chart. So I'll just select here. I don't need this. I'll hide all the field buttons on the chart, right? I don't want the total as well. So I'll just go and deselect the chart title. I don't want the legend. I'll unselect legend. I don't want grids, right? So this is how you can do. I don't want blank also. I'll unfilter this. So this is a neat and tidy. I can see age group wise how many count is this. I can add the X and Y axis if you want. From here I can add the error bars. Data table can be added here for each group, how many count of employees is there. Otherwise I can add the data labels, right? I can remove the y-axis also from access type from. I can add that actually. If you want to add, you can write the employee count, right? So this is one chart that has been created. So this is right. So this is one pivot that we have created, right? Going back to my data. So this is one chart. So now that we have created one pivot, I can create multiple pivots. Right now I have to see, let's say, department wise, how many employees are there. So I'll just go to insert, click on pivot and click on OK. I'll just search here department, and then going back again to employee count, and then going to value and click on count. This is my count on each department. Going back to pivot chart, let's say this time I want to take a bar chart. Select this. I don't want these field buttons. Hide all field buttons. I don't want the chart title. This looks good. I don't want legend. I don't want grid lines. I want data labels. I can change the style from here. So if you see this brush, this is a color style and you want to change, and you can do that. But let's keep simple right now. And So here I just don't want the horizontal, sorry, yeah, horizontal this. So this is another chart. So this is department pivot, right? So this is how we have created two pivots, right? I can create multiple pivots on it. Any questions on using pivot? Any advanced thing that you would like to learn on it, or something that is missing here? Any doubts? So now I'll just go ahead with, let's say, education field. So this is my education, and again, employee number, I can do count on it. So basically, when we are working on pivots, so there are four areas that you have to think about. First is filters, second is columns, third is rows, and fourth is values. Even if you work on Power BI, so these are the four important areas logic wise. So if you see here, this area, one is filters. If you add anything, for example, if you add gender here, you will have a filter over here, and you can filter, for example, just for females. You want data just for females, right? Columns are, if you want to add for each rows, if you want to see gender wise, you add gender, and you will see for each and every education field how many males are there and how many females are there, right? Oops, sorry. Yeah. So for each education field, you can see male and female count and total count, right? So let's say I want to add this as well. I'll just click on pivot table, analyze pivot chart. Let's see what kind of, so do you remember what kind of chart this is when we were working on the slides?
Combo chart.
So this is called a combo chart. So you can see here the benefit of combo chart. For each and every education, you can see for gender as like for male as well as female, right? So this is the beauty of using combo chart. So I'll again remove field buttons. Now this is fine. Here legends are important, because otherwise we won't be able to differentiate between the colors. If you know previously, legend is not important here because there is just one color, right? So this is fine. I can add the labels here again, remove the axis from the vertical, and this is fine. This is education pivot, right? So basically, when we talk about the dashboard, so when we work on Excel dashboard, so that is just the addition of these visuals that we create on pivot into the final page. So let's say I'm hiding these files because yeah, this will still remain. Right, yeah. So let's say I want to create a dashboard here, right? Here it will be just a complete dashboard for all your all the metrics that you want to encounter. So let's say you want to have this dashboard. So what you will do is select this, copy, like it can be Control C, or you can just right click and copy from here, right? And click on dashboard and then Control V. So one of your visual is here, right? Similarly, from department pivot, you'll see Control C, paste here, right? And then from education, Control C, dashboard, and then paste here, right? So this is how you can do this. And if you go to view, and you can deselect the grid lines, so it will be just blank, it will be even better, right? So if you select here, go here, and the best part is you can edit the borders and make it more beautiful. So this is how, let's try to create one more pivot so that it's more symmetrical. Let's say I want to have total working years in years in current. This won't make sense because when we have years in current role, so yeah, let's remove this, years in current role. And let's say any metric suggestion we would like to have on it. Or we can have job role and what is my income. So I think I have monthly income. Yes. And here I want to see what is my average for each job role. What is my average income, monthly income? So I'll just click on average and click OK. And if you want to format this, so easily click on home, and from here you can just make it more neat, right? So up to one decimal, or if you don't want decimal, you can just remove completely, right? So if you click here again, go to pivot table analyze, pivot chart, and this is my job wise monthly income average, right? So I'll again have the data labels, chart title is not required, grid line not required, legend not required, and vertical not required, right? So this is also created. I'll just control C copy, and on dashboard I'll paste it, right? So this is how I have already created this dashboard looking page. Now when we discussed about slices, right, when we were working on theory, like we discussed we need something to filter out. So I want to see just for R&D, for example, or maybe just for females, what is the data. So for that, you'll just go to insert and click on slicer, right? So here you will see data model in the right hand side. There are connections and data model. So if I click on data model, it is working on this table, right? Click here. And from here, let's say I want to have gender as my slicer, and click OK. So here you can have one slicer like this. From here, you can do modifications, like you can like change the text size and properties, slicer settings. You can change the name. You can remove the header, because this is gender, of course. So if you don't want header to be displayed, you can do that. Click OK, right? So this is my slicer. Now if you click on mail, nothing is changing, right? Currently what is happening is this slicer is not connected to any of these any of these graphs. So what I'll do is right click here, I'll click on report connections. So if you click on report connections, you will see these are the pivot tables that is being shown. No, this is not nice. One second. Okay, so yeah, this looks good. Yeah. So this is the data model that we are using. Ultimately, when we are adding the slicer, and if you click on report connections, here it comes. So this is not the one we should get. Um,
As in, what should be coming in? Because
because here it should come for all those 4 pivot tables. So these are the
oh, it's
pivot.
coming for only two, is what we are saying.
No, this is not even coming for one. This is these are the previous ones that I created. So if you go back here, this is sheet 4.2. So this is what it is showing me. that it is connected for these queries. For this one, I'm not able to see.
I think you would it make a difference because you had hidden those sheets? You were
But
hiding them, right?
yeah, so but I have not hidden anything else. For example, if you see, I have just hidden sheet six and we look up one. So it doesn't make sense. So if you click OK also, so sheet six is this, right? So this is old one. So it won't make sense. For example, if I go back here and click on report connections, it won't show that. So hiding is not a problem. What I think is when I created a pivot table. So step one is creating a table. So if you go back again to data, so this is my original data, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So original data. So if you select this, click on home, this is my table one, right? Let's let's do some diagnosis on it. So this is what is done in data. So once we have selected, I did on pivot table. That's how we do. Click OK. Let's see, I created this straightforward band versus, let's say, count. So let's go to pivot table and nice pivot chart. Let's say this is done, right? Now, if I copy this and click on plus and paste it over here, now I want to insert a slicer on this. And let's say age group, not gender. Here, right click, report connections. I don't know why it's showing this.
Maybe there's
Maybe,
an error in the Excel itself.
yeah, I think what happened was initially what I did, like played with this table, right? Something happened because of which it's not taking this as a table per se.
Maybe we should not be using it on applied tables. I think
No,
that's what we can
no,
safely
no, no. We can,
conclude.
no, no, we can do. What do you mean by applied? As in, I created a new column?
Yes.
No, no, that's not a problem. So I'm sure something else is there. So what I would say is, let's say if I go back and open this new one. Okay, so I'll just close this. Right. So let's close this and open the original one. Hopefully it works this time. So this is my table, original table. I click on insert, pivot table. Okay, straightforward. Click on this. Count, value, count. Click on pivot table chart. This is my chart. Copy into new dashboard. This and click on insert slicer. All right. So I am not able to find a data model only. So I think this was the challenge because previous data model was already there.
Sorry, Atikant, I had just got disconnected. What was the error?
We are still figuring out. So there was
Oh,
an
I see.
error. So previous version. So some modification I did. I'm just diagnosing. Just couple of minutes. It will be fine. This is my table. Pivot table. Creating a new one. So now this is created using model. It should work like this. And if I insert a slicer, yeah, it is not coming. So what I can do is, what I think, let's not waste our time here in diagnosing. What I'll do is, I'll do some analysis from my end. What are the challenges? What are the issues that we are facing in this one? And I'll explain this in the tomorrow's session, so that we can do. Because ultimately, but these are the steps. We have data. We'll do pivot charts, and then in the final dashboard, as we explained, where add all those pivot charts, and then dashboard is created. But don't worry, I'll explain this tomorrow. Definitely, I'll do what are the issues that are coming here, and explain to you. What I can do is, I think we can skip this and go to Power BI and explain all those stuff. What do you guys think? Yeah, so I got one thumbs up, or maybe I can see,
Sure, no worries.
right?
Yeah, sure.
Because ultimately, we are just left with one step. One step is on final slicer, right? So ultimately, what we have is charts, and then if we have slicers, we can play with the data. So that's the only step remaining in Excel dashboard. And today I'll do diagnosis from my end and see what is there, and I'll tell you the error also, because once I figure out the error, you will know that these errors can come, right? So this is even more better. So that's fine. So I'll explain that later on. Now let's go with Power BI. Anyone who has experience in Power BI?
No.
All right.
No.
All right. So we have 5 people. So anyone else? Neha and Yalanke. I didn't get anything from her.
No, zero
No.
exposure and experience.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So basically, I'll just open the Power BI from Microsoft. You can see the screen.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Perfect. So I'll just go to this is a Microsoft product, right? So this is basically a visualization tool. So if you want to understand what is visualization tool, like for example, we have Excel, but Excel is not a visualization tool. So when we create dashboards, it is because maybe we don't know how to use Power BI, or maybe that is just straightforward. We have small data, and then we are creating dashboard on Excel itself. But Excel is not used for that. Excel is just for formulas and doing some financial modeling or all those sort of analysis. That's it, right? That's where Microsoft Power BI comes in. So this is a product from Microsoft where you can create these kind of visualizations. So I'll explain how these kind of dashboards are created, and this will be very interesting. Trust me, you will love it, and you will enjoy, and definitely you will create your own dashboards. I'm sure about it. So I'll just go ahead. Do you guys have Power BI desktop, or you would like to install now or later on?
I have in my desktop.
You have?
Nidhi Saxena. I'm having.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you have, so you can, so what I would suggest is, you guys can download now. So I'll just show you how to download. If someone who is not having this Power BI download, just click on Power BI download and go to the official website, app.microsoft. This one, if you click here, so you will have this option of installing Power BI desktop. So if you are working on Power BI desktop, it is free. But if you work on the application and you want to publish your reports, you need the login. So maybe you have login uh, from your organization. So you need official like working email ID. So you cannot use Power BI using your Gmail account, right? So that is one condition. So once you install it, so would you guys want to install, and side by side we can discuss things, because it will take a couple of minutes, not more than that, so that you guys can work together. We still have 1.5 hours, and we can utilize this time. Or maybe what we can do is, so just tell me, Mitra, you have a Power BI desktop? Oh, you have, great. Sivashri?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, wonderful. Nidhi, you have. And Neha?
No, I don't.
So Neha and everyone else have the desktop. So what we can do is we can take a 5 minutes break, and Neha, you can download. So what you do is just go to Power BI desktop and click on install. It is very straightforward, 5 minutes thing, not more than that.
Okay. Okay, I'll do that.
And if you have any questions, if you're not able to download it, you can share your screen, and I'll give you the step by step guide.
Okay,
Whatever works.
surely. Let me try once.
Yeah. And in background, I'll just explain what is Power BI desktop. So I'll just show my Power BI desktop. So if you see here, oh, sorry, I'll just click on new, or that's fine. So if you see here, this is the Power BI desktop, right? It is very fairly similar to Excel in terms of the ribbon that we see on the top. Like we have home button, insert, modeling, view, optimize, help, external tools, and then we have all those things. On the left hand side, these are really important. First is report view, then we have table view, we have model view. On report view, you do all the visualization. On table view, you have the table. So this is the table that we are working on from the start: attrition, business travel, all those things, right? Then we have model view. This is where you will do all the modeling, but this is not required now, because if you have a huge data, if you have multiple tables, then that's where the modeling comes in. So you connect one table to another using a primary key and then all those things. So this is where the data modeling comes in, but right now it is not required, right? So these three things are important. This is DAX query viewer, but right now it is not required. This is a next level thing, and it is out of scope right now, and it's not needed honestly right now. So this is my first interface. As in Excel, you have multiple pages. You can click on plus to have new pages. These are all Power BI pages, right? And don't worry about this. Currently, this is showing me desktop layout. If you click on mobile layout view, and then you can drag and drop to show this dashboard on mobile. So we are not working on mobile anyways. So this is fine. And so right inside, if you see, these are the visualization. These are the options of all the visuals that we were discussing. You see, these are the stacked bar charts, column charts, area chart. Then we have stacked area. This is my 100% stack area. Then this is my funnel, as we were discussing in theory. Then this is my ribbon chart, uh, map, filter. This is my slicer. So this is important. Then we were talking about metrics chart, table chart, all those things, right? So these are the visuals that we will talk about. On the right hand side, this is my data tab. Here you will see all the tables. Currently, I just have HR data table. Just one table is there, so I'll be seeing just one data table over here, right? So this is how interface looks like. Yeah. So Nia, are you done, or are you facing any problem in that, in installing?
But it's still downloading.
Okay, great. What I'll do is I'll just start with data. So if you want to see data, you just click on table view and see this data, just similar to Excel. You already have filters. You can just see how the data is there. Because when you're working on analysis, it is very important to first see what is data, right? What is the data that you're having? You have attrition, business travel. First, you should be aware of all the columns. What are the columns telling you? What kind of analysis you can do? And it is important. You just don't go jump straight away, drag and drop and create the visuals. No, that's not the right way. Just go to data and see how it is, and then create a dashboard. So I'll just start with creating a dashboard, and you will see how easy Power BI is as compared to Excel. We were trying to work on Power Query, Power Pivot. We created pivot table, then we created pivot chart, then we dragged pivot table, a chart from copy paste to the dashboard page, and then creating a slicer. There are so many steps in Excel format, Excel dashboarding. But in Power BI, which is known for visualization. This is a BI tool itself.
Hello, Adikant.
Yes,
Yeah, so it has downloaded and it's asking me to enter my email address. So I have to enter my official email ID, right?
yes.
Okay, I think I have installed it.
Wonderful.
However, this is not the view I am getting.
Oh, so what is the view you are getting?
Okay, do I share my screen?
Yeah.
So this is the view that I'm getting.
Oh,
Is
that's
it
fine.
visible?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that is great. Uh, this is the one you want to work on. So if you scroll up, yeah, and click on blank report.
Blank report, right?
Yes. And now you will see that screen,
Okay. Yes.
right?
Thank you.
No worries. I'll just share my screen again. So what I'll do is I'll just create two, three visuals first and see how it is done. And then whatever questions you have, let me know. First is I want to create some data visuals where I want to count total employees, what who are active. For example, this is 1, 2, 3. You can see the card 1, 2, 3 on the visual panel. I'll just click here. Now, what I have to do is I just have to drag the employee count as this column we are working on, right? So I'll just select this and drag in the fields parameter. You can see fields here, add data fields here. So I'll click here and see over here. And now I just want to count it. So this is my total employee count, 1470. How I can change this data set, data card is just go to format your visual here, go here and click on, let's say, the category label as off, right? And now go to general and click on as title. I want to create a new title, name as total employees, right? Maybe you can do in this middle alignment, color can be like this. You can change the styling. And if you go to general, go to effects, let's say the background is this color, for example. Now color, let's say take simple, and let's say transparency is this, and I have a border of, let's say, this, where it is this, and shadow is on. So this is my one data card, right? So what I'm seeing here is my total employees in the organization. Here I can just shorten the value font, maybe somewhere around 25, right? So this will be my starting point. Now I'll just control C and control V. So this is a new visual card. Now the trickier part is I want to have the total employees who are just who are active, who are still with the company, right? These are the total employees including the attrition, right? So if you go here, total records are 1470, but my actual count of employees are where attrition is no. That means who are current employees, right? So if I select this, it is somewhere around 1233. You can see filtered rows as 1233 in the bottom. So this should be my total active employees. So for this, my DAX come into picture. DAX is the full form of DAX is data analysis expression, and this is somewhat coding. It's not tough, but it is somewhat coding. So what I'll do is, if you click on three dots, click on new measure, and you, let's say, name this as total active employees, right, equal to. So here I'll use calculate. I'll say count, distinct count of employee count that we were doing, right? Now I want to filter on this table HR data and say what is my if the attrition is equal to no. If attrition is no, that is my active and the current employee, and press enter. Now if I add this active measure over here, so this will give me total active employees. And if I change the title from here, total active employees, right? So this is how we will start with the visuals. So I know this is slightly tricky. If you go to the measure here, this is what we created. Anyone who understood this?
Sorry, you'll have to explain this formula again.
Okay. So I'll just break this formula into steps. No need to learn this because learning won't help. It is about logic, right? So I'll just go back. Oops, sorry.
I think if we can parallelly do it step by step, we will at least be able
Yes.
to.
Yeah, that's why I wanted everyone to have a desktop so that you can practice and do side by side, because otherwise it's very hard.
Yeah, so if you're just going step by step, we can do it like by the time we see your screen and go there, you're going to the next step. So if you can
Okay,
just
sorry.
do it a
No,
little
okay.
slow, then it's
Yeah,
easier.
yeah, definitely. So if you see here, I'll just go back again. I'll just remove this. You can just select on three dots and click on remove. So everyone has
Uh,
created this chart.
for me, I haven't even done the first one, so I definitely need
Okay.
help there.
Okay. So what we have to do is, so whenever we want some data like total employees, total sales, total attrition number, whenever we want numbers, we don't want charts. We just want numbers, right? So we can use this 1, 2, 3 card, right? So what you have to do is click here. This is a visualization page. This is where we are doing all the visualization, right? You can see this is what I got if I selected 1, 2, 3.
No, first, after we install this BI, then we have to export,
Oh,
like
sorry, sorry.
we have to import.
Sorry, got it. That is the first step I forgot. So first you have to import the data, right? So importing the data, click on get data. And right now we have Excel data, right? So this HR data is in Excel workbook. So you click on Excel workbook. So whatever data you will have, you will be shown. For example, I have this in downloads, Excel, this HR data. So I'll just double click here and it will load. So what I'll do is, let's do it again. For, till the time, just open, click on get data and try to add the data itself. Now, This is the first page I get every time whenever I open Power BI. Click on blank report, right? So this is the starting point of your project, right? Now, first of all, I want to import the data. First, I want data. That's how I will start analyzing, right? So for that, I'll go and get data, and whatever is my data source, it can come from SQL server, it can come from Excel, it can come from CSV files. So in Excel we work on CSV file as well, right? So you have to understand if my data is Excel format or CSV format or anything else, right? In our scenario it is Excel workbook, so I'll just click on Excel workbook, and now this is my data, HR data, right? I'll just double click here and it will connect. So once I click there, there is a navigator and I will see table one, HR data. My data is HR data. So I'll just click on this square of HR data. Everyone is still this step?
Uh, yes, Atikant.
Yes.
All right. So now the next step is there are two options. First is you can load this data and then you can start working on Power BI. Second option is transform data. So if you know this data is not correct, it is not coming in the right format or something, then you can click on transform data, right? In this case, let's click on transform data. Everyone click on transform data. So what you will see is this is my Power Query editor. And this is really important whenever we say whoever is data analyst, who are people working in analysis, Power Query is very important when they are working on analyzing data. So for your case also, when you go ahead and work on analyzing HR data, this will become a pillar, and everyone will understand that you know the knowledge of data if you know Power Query. So if you see here, again there are so many tabs: home, transform, add column, and all those things, but we don't need to go there. This is my actual table, right? Here I can see there is one problem. The problem here is my column headers are coming in row 1, right? So everyone is also getting this, or
Yes, same.
so here the problem is these are my column names, not my new entry. So currently
Atikant, I'm
power,
not able to see the row numbers.
these 1 2 3 4.
Yeah, even I do.
No.
Um, maybe it's hidden, but it's not required. I mean, that's fine if it is not coming.
Okay.
Yeah. So currently you can see this is a part of my row, but this is my column headers, right? So what I can do is, this is a common problem that comes in the data. So if you see here, this table kind of symbol and arrow, right? Just click here and click on use first row as headers, because I want to define these as my headers, not as my data, right? If I click on use row as headers, so it will promote and it will give me as my headers. Now my data is cleaned now here. So I don't have to worry about it. Everyone is able to do this? Wonderful.
Actually, my first row is also not appearing.
Oh,
The headings
do
are
you
also
want,
not appearing in my
do you
data.
want to show, share your screen?
Okay.
So what you did was, in the step 1, uh, we clicked on transform data. You did load,
No, I clicked on transform data.
but you are still on Power BI. So it's okay. I mean, that's not a problem. What you have to do is click on the right hand side, HR data, you can see
Yeah.
there is a three dot, click on three
Yeah.
dots and click on edit query.
Sorry, edit query.
Edit
Okay.
query, yes. Click there. Yeah. So this is how you will go to Power Query Editor. This is where everyone is. Here now you can see the numbers.
Yes.
Perfect. So if you click on this symbol, left hand side, yeah,
This
click
one.
here. Yeah. And click on use first row as header. You can see the problem, like all the headers are showing me as the new row, but it is not a row, it is a header,
Yeah. Okay.
right? Perfect. So everyone is at this step. Perfect. So this is fine. Now I don't need to clean everything. Currently, this is good enough. And what I'll do is close and apply. If you click here, if you click on close and apply and click on close and apply and just wait for a couple of minutes, Power BI will analyze the changes and apply to your dashboard. So far, so good. Now, if I go back, this is my data. I'll just remove this. Yeah, so I have data. Now I am on dashboard. I have my data with me. Perfect. And I have already understood what is data. I have attrition, business travel, age band, label, department, everything. Right. So now let's try to create one chart. I'll start with chart because those are easy. I won't go with the DAX measures and all. I'll just go with this easiest step. So I'll create a bar chart. So I'll just click on stacked bar chart. If you click stack bar chart here, it will create one dummy visual on my visual page, right? Now from data search, I'll go to department. I just want to do analysis on department. I'll just drag over here in the visual, right? Now I want to have the count of employee. So I'll just drag employee count as well, right? Now it is showing me as the sum of employee count. So again, the same problem as we had in Excel. I just want count distinct. So I'll click on count distinct from x-axis sum of employee count to count distinct instead of sum. Click on count distinct. Oh, sorry, count. Right. So now if you click on count of employees, you will have this bar chart. And from format your visualization, you can click on data labels, right? So this is one of my visuals of department wise employees. Everyone created this?
Yes.
Can you give us some time, please?
Yes. I'll repeat this visual again. So what we have to do is clicking on this stack bar chart and it will come here. From data, I can search or I can just directly go there. For example, this is my department that I have to do. First option is I'll drag here and employee count. I'll drag here, right? Second option is instead of dragging, what I can do is clicking on searching department, select and add in y-axis. If you see right hand side in visualization, click on there and y-axis, right? And searching the employee count and it is in x-axis, right? So these are the two ways that we can select and create a visual. And then if you go to format your visuals, click on data labels, click on, and you will have the labels. From the format visuals, I can do anything with the bar colors. For example, I want this color, and let's say transparency is this, and I want to add the border of, let's say, this color, width is this, and layout is fine. So you can do whatever you feel like with colors, play around. And then in, if you want to change the background, go to general, effects. I'll repeat everything, don't worry. So whichever step you are not clear of, I can explain again. You can change like this, change the transparency to like this, visual border is on, shadow is on. So this is how you can change any visual, and title of this is department wise employee, maybe department wise number of employees, right? And it can be bold, it can be in center, and I want to remove y-axis title, I want to remove x-axis title and values. So you can transform this visual into this good looking visual like this. Just take your time, 2 minutes, and see what is not happening, and ask me, and I can explain you.
How you have changed this title, department-wise number of employees?
So if you click on the visual and go to format your visual, right? There are three icons. One is add data to visual, format your
Yes.
visual, and add further analysis. Click on format your visual, click on general, click on title. First, it should be on, and then
Okay.
add in the title text, whatever you will add. So I want, let's say you want to add number of employees, and then this for department.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So this is how you can change this. You can add the shapes from here. Let's say you want to add this shape and you want to see like this. I'm saying you can create from basic visual to like this. So do you remember, if you compare this with Excel, we created a pivot table. Then from there, we created pivot chart. From there, we copied that chart to a dashboard new page. And then that's how you created a dashboard. Here, it was so straightforward. From one table itself, you just drag and drop and your table visual is created. So once I get the thumbs up from everyone, I'll go ahead. Nice. So Nidhi, are you able to create a modified version of this like this? So you're able to understand that?
Yes. I'm able to change
Great.
name and color format.
So that's fine. So honestly, coloring is not important. First, you're able to understand the, like, you are able to create this also. That's fine. This is a secondary step, but we can go ahead this like creating nice, impactful dashboards. So should I go ahead? Yelanke, Nidhi, Sivashri, Mitra, so you guys understood the logic?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
Nice. So now, so let's see, we have this visual. Similarly, try to create a same visual for education wise number of employees as we did in Excel. The smart way is, what you do is, whatever visual you have already created, just copy this and paste. You will create this. Just do everything. Everyone, just copy and paste a new visual.
Okay.
Now remove department from here. In y-axis, you can see here there is a department, right? Just click on X, so it will be removed. Right now, search for education and drag education in y-axis. Right, so you will see you are able to create education wise. Now change the title also, because it's showing department. So number of employees, education. So we will do smart work. We have already created one visual, so let's not waste our time doing again the same visual. So just copy this and paste and change the fields over there.
If we just drag and drop education in this image,
Yeah.
that is also getting populated, correct? Is that
Yes,
right?
correct, 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 correct. Yes. So for example, you have education here.
Yeah,
So
just
you want to have department, for example. So you'll just drag over here. You can do this. But there is a caveat over here. So what here it is showing is, if in y-axis you have two fields, as you're saying, department and education, right? So what it will give me is a possibility of going to the next level. So if I click on this and click on R&D, if I click on R&D, then it will show me all the R&Ds for all the educations. So this is a next level visual. So how to read this is, so ultimately you have 961 employees in R&D department, correct? So out
Yes.
of 961, yeah, out of 961 employees, I want to see, just for 961 R&D employees, I want to see how many are from each education level. So I'll just click on this arrow. So this is a drill mode, and it will, whenever I click on particular department, it will show me the education wise count. For example, if I click on 63 HRs, so if I click on HR, so this count will be 63. So out of 63 HRs, 27 employees have done bachelor's, 15 employees have done master's degree, 13 have done associate's degree, 5 are high school, 3 are doctoral degrees certified. Right, so this is how you can go on the next level. So if you have two levels, level 1 is department, level 2 is education. So if you drill down from arrow down, so just one arrow down, so the meaning of these two arrows are different. So if I go back, I have three options. One is just one arrow down, two arrow downs, and then hierarchy down. So if I click on one arrow down and then click on one particular department, so it will explain me for that particular department. So you can see here R&D is shown, and then there is education wise, right? If I go back and if I select on double arrow down, so it will just go directly to the next hierarchy, and it will not filter out for any particular department. Right now, if I click on hierarchy like this, so it will give me for each and every department. So if you see here, for each and every department, R&D, there are these options. For sales, these are these options. For this option, so I'm getting for all the hierarchies over here. So depending on how you want to have the data, You can drag and drop the visuals like anything, and this will be like this. Any question on this? Did you guys understood this? Yes, no?
How you're getting these arrows?
Which one? These arrows?
Yeah, the left side one. Yes.
This one?
Yes.
So this arrow will come when you have two multiple trees in y-axis. So if I remove this, so this won't come,
Okay.
right? So as she was saying, like we can drag and see and understanding. So if we have department and let's say we have education that we were talking about. If I drag and have both of them, department
Okay.
as well as education, now you will see there are arrows.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
This is really important. So I hope everyone understood. If not, ask me again, like the explanation of these three arrows.
Atika, I'm just trying it out. Just 1 minute, please.
Can you please repeat?
No, I was saying I'm just doing it.
Okay.
Please give me some time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For the rest of the people who have tried and they are able to make this, try to understand the understanding meaning of this. For example, this is really important. If you click here and let's say click on HR, so what is the meaning of these five bars? So in under HR only, these are the 5 degrees. So there are total how many employees? If I go back, 63 in HR, right? Go back to HR. Out of 63, bachelor's 27, master's 15, associates 13, high school 5, doctoral degree 3. Very important to understand this. You can also create a new chart here. So if you see, I have selected, currently I have not selected anything. So if you see on this chart, bachelor's degree showing me 572. That is total, right? You can see here, right? Total 572. Now, if I select HR in this visual, it will change this visual as well. You can see initially it was 572 bachelors. If I select HR, bachelors came into 27, right? Because it is showing me just for HR now. This concept is important. Once everyone says yes, that will be great. Mitra, you're able to understand this?
Yeah, the concept is clear, but I didn't understand how for specific department I can see this one.
So, like for which department? Like for HR,
HR, yeah.
or if you, for example, if you click on HR, you're able to get this.
Atikant, I'm really sorry to be asking you this again, but how do you change the name of the chart?
Name of the chart.
Yeah, so like number of employees, department, and education. How did you edit that?
So if you click on format your visuals, click on general, click on
And
title,
title. Okay,
and
okay.
in title text.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
And Mitra, do you want to share your screen if you're or you're done able to do it? Okay. And how
Sorry,
about
too many windows
Shivashri?
are open, so you know.
No, it's fine. How about Shivashri,
Um,
Nilanke, Nidhi?
we-
I understood, Nick.
Great. So let's try to create more visuals. let's say I want to create for each band. And one more beautiful part about this is, let's say you created this dashboard, this page visual, right? Currently, this is my bar chart, right? This is stacked bar chart you have taken. Now you feel like you don't like bar chart and you want a column chart instead. You can just click on, once you click on this visual, it is selected, right? Click on column chart. It will directly change into column chart. You don't have to change again anything. Or if you feel like it should be, let's say, line chart, then click on line chart. It will be shown like a line chart. If you feel it should be, let's say, area chart, click on area chart. It will be changed. So this is how you can just change by clicking the icons of the visuals. That's it. You don't have to worry about anything else. Right? Again, our same policy, just copy this and paste so that I don't have to waste my time again and again in the alignment and all. Now, in this, I'll have the age group band in the y-axis, right? And this is how I can see the employee count for each and every band. Right? I can see for 25 to 34 age group, there are 554 employees. For 35 to 44, there are 505 employees. For 45 to 54, there are 245, and so on and so forth. And I can change for this the title. This is number of employees on the basis of age group. On top of it, we can add the gender as well. Just a second. Yeah. So if I add the gender here, how it will look like, let's see. If I click here and go to gender, and then here in this chart, I have to add gender in legends. So if you see here, if you do in focus mode, for each and every age group, I can see females, for example, in 25 to 34, females are 217, male is 337. 35 to 44, females are 196, males are 309. 45 to 54, females are 113, males are 132. Right? So I really want, we still have almost 1 hour, and then tomorrow we have a 3 hour session. So I really want by end of the tomorrow's session, everyone create a dashboard and are confident to that you can create a dashboard by yourself. So that is the objective. So I really want everyone to just see how the visuals are being created now, and then everyone will have a different dashboard by the end of the session. Just tell me for this age group, everyone is able to create this? Nice, Nidhi, thank you. How about Neha, Yalanke, Shivastri, Mitra?
Yeah, I'm just working on it.
So wherever you guys are stuck, just let me know so that we can like make it more interactive you can understand whatever is the challenge. So everyone is able to create this, creating a like legend in gender. Anyone who is able to create this, give me a thumbs up.
Atikant,
Yes.
there is so in my charts towards the end, there is a data which is coming up. Can I just show my screen, please?
Yeah.
I'm not able to get rid of that data.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm not able to get rid of this data.
Okay. So just click there. Click on the visual. Yeah. Go to the format your visual.
Sorry, where?
Yeah. This one. Yes.
Format your visual. Okay, yes.
Yeah. Click on x-axis. Scroll down. And now if you unselect the title, this is title. So just click it off. Yeah. Click on yes. So it will become off. Same with values.
Okay. Okay.
Same with values also. If you don't want that.
Okay.
Values.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry?
So you wanted to like remove 0, 500,000 also, right?
Yeah, so that would be y-axis, right?
No, that is x-axis only, no? This is x-axis.
Sorry, yeah, x-axis itself.
So scroll down and
Values.
yeah, yes. So this is how it will come.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. So now let's try to create that age group part where you can have
Yeah, so
gender.
I'll have to do it from changing it in the Excel because I haven't created the age group. So I'm doing
No,
it.
but it's already there. So you can use this column, CF underscore age band.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
just 1 minute. Let me try.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me try.
So yeah. So Mitra, that's great that you are able to create this. Anyone else? Come on, Shivashri, Nidhi, Neha, Yelanke.
Let me just share my screen, Siddhant. 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah. Nice, Nidhi.
So,
You're able to do it. Yes.
so this is what I have for
Mhm.
the age group. Okay, so one thing, I selected
Hmm.
to y-axis, correct?
So first of all,
Ah,
I'll tell you what is not correct in this.
okay.
So in y-axis, your
Ah,
age band is correct,
okay.
and employee count in x-axis is correct. In
Okay.
legend, you have again taken the CF underscore age band. Remove this, and here add gender.
Is this right?
Yeah, so this is correct, but you have used a different visual. So this is how it is coming, but it's not wrong. You can
Okay.
use that, or you can use the one we were using.
Okay.
But what you are doing is correct.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I think Mitra is done. Shivashri is also done. Nidhi is done. I'm remaining with Neha and Yelanke.
Yeah, we just message saying she's completed. Looks like her mic is not working.
Okay, okay. Wonderful, Yelanke as well. Uh, Great.
I have one concern here. This entire data is based on the total number of employees, right? Including the attrition.
Yes, yes. So very good question. So whenever you get these kind of problems, so if you feel you don't want to include them, right? So one option is very easy option is if you see this is my filter panel, right? This one. So what you will do is just go here and select attrition column, drag it on the page. This is like add data fields here, right? Click here. Now, I just want attrition is no. All the employees who are still with the company, right? So I'll just click here and you can just see the data changes. This is for my current employees now.
For all the charts, it will be automatically changed.
Yes, automatically. So if whatever you do here, so there are three areas. So filter on this page, filter on all pages. So if you create multiple pages and you want to have the same filter on all the pages, you can do this. Or if you want, for example, if you click here on the visual, right, and here you change the filter, like do filter, that will only impact that visual, right? For example, if I add this attrition on this filters on this visual, right, and I remove from the page, removing is like clear filter, right? Now if I click no here in this visual, this will impact only this visual, it won't impact this. Now if you see the count of these employees and this employee, it will not be same. Yeah, perfect. So I'll remove from this visual, and yeah, so I have not applied any filter as of now. Currently it will show me all the employees.
Also, any changes that we make to the Excel, should we refresh here or it will automatically get
So for
indicated?
example, if you do any changes in Excel, right? So we have this Excel, and let's say currently we have records till 1471. You create a new column here.
Okay.
I mean, you have, sorry, you have a new row here. So your question is if this data will
Yeah.
automatically be there in Power BI or not.
Yeah.
So for that you need to go here, three dots, click on refresh data.
Okay.
So once you click refresh data, or you can go from here, click on refresh here. On the top, you can see here, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Once you click on refresh data, it will take the latest data.
Oh.
So in latest data, if there are new added records, it will be incorporated automatically. You don't have to do anything else.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That will reflect the age band also.
yes, everything. So for example, you have a new data with 5 new records, and all those 5 records have age of, let's say, 30. So the count of 25 to 34 in this will be increased by 5.
No, the existing data, like for example, if now 24 to 25 to 34 is 217, and next
Yeah.
year for the 34, maybe it will get reduced and this 35 to 44 will be updated. The age will change in the
Okay.
existing, yeah, in the current data.
No. So that is a different thing. So that if you want that kind of analysis, so your age should vary. For example, there is an employee Rahul. His age is 30 today, 34 today. So he will be in this band. But tomorrow, next year, his age is 35. He should move from this band to this band, 35 to 44. Your question is if he will automatically be converted here.
Yeah,
If
no. If we make the changes in the Excel, then will it reflect here?
yes.
Okay.
So currently, let's say in Excel, let's take with the employee. Sorry, employee as employee ID. Where is my employee ID, employee number? Let's take 10, right?
Mm.
Employee 10 is female. Her age is 59, right? So let's say today she is in 45 plus. Of course, next year also she will be in 45 plus age group, but her age will become 60. And
Yeah.
if you change here, if you make it manually, it's 59 to 60, then it will be automatically updated in the band. So for example, it was 35, 34, and now new age is 35. So she will go from band 1 to band 2 automatically.
Mm.
Yeah. So she will go from this band to second band. You don't have to do it anything else. Just save and refresh. So Nidhi, are you done with this age group? Or was it
Yes.
Neha? Oh, wonderful. Everyone is done with this now.
Yes, just one issue that I'm facing is I'm unable to, blow out my chart. So there is a limited space in which I am supposed to. Okay,
Blowout as in I just clicked on focus mode. If you click on
focus mode.
focus mode,
Okay, okay.
so just this is just to explain the stakeholders once dashboard is created and you are presenting your data, right? So you can do this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not required.
Okay. And how
One
did you add the values in the legends? Not the legend, the graph itself.
this.
Yes.
So I just used this visual. If you see, if I click here, I have used the first visual stacked bar chart.
Yeah. Yes.
So it will automatically give me the visuals labels in between. If I just clicked on data labels to be
Data
on,
labels.
so these are my data labels, right? So I clicked on, so it will automatically come. I can change the settings of data labels. I can change the position to, let's say, inside end. I want to have all the values at the end. So I clicked inside end. So now you can see at the end, it is showing me, right? I want, let's say, outside, or let's say it was already center. So if I click on base, so it will come at the base. So depending on how you want this, mostly it's better to keep it auto. So it will automatically keep wherever the system thinks it is, right? So
Yeah.
another way of representing this is same data for number of employees of age group. If I change the visual to, let's say, this one, so this is also a nice way. Here for each age band, I can see how many males and females are there in the one bar itself, right? Similarly, like this was horizontal, this is vertical, right? Similarly, one more way is to use this. Sorry, not in this one. I'll just change here using clustered column chart. So if you see here, for each and every group, I can see two buildings. One is for female, one is for male, right? So I'll just remove this. This is not required. Click on three dots, click on remove. That's how you can remove this. I'll remove this because that's also not required. This is not required. Let's make it neat and tidy. You can just drag and drop to make it look like visual dashboard. Yeah. So we have created these bar charts or stack charts, as we say. I'll just change it to the column chart so that we have all kind of charts, right? So this is one part. Now the second part is we have to have some kind of table, because it is important to understand the data that's what we are having. So I'll just click on metrics, right? On the left hand side, I will have my job roles. So these are the job roles that are there for all the employees: healthcare representative or HR, laboratory technician, manager, and so on and so forth. Now I want the satisfaction rate. So I have one column as job satisfaction. I'll just click here. It should be in columns, right? I have job satisfaction of 1, 2, 3, or 4. So if the employee is satisfied or not, I'll just select employee count and click in the values. So if you see here, I can see for each job role, how many employees are there for each category. So I can say in healthcare representative job role, 43 people are satisfied. Like they have said 4 rating as a satisfaction level, right? So this is the highest. 4 is highest. So 43 are happy. 43 are somewhat happy. 26 are not happy at all. They are not satisfied with the job. The most is for, let's say, 69, that is sales executive. I think that is obvious. They are not happy. Sales, it's really hard. They are out, they need more of support and engagement. And research scientists or laboratory technicians, these are least satisfied. So what we can do is we can create the percentages also. So if you want 26 out of 131, what is my percentages? In this, I can change show value as I want to have the percentage of row total, let's say. So I can see out of total, almost 20% are not at all happy in healthcare. 21% of sales executive are not at all happy out of total sales executive. It's not about total employees. 21% is of total sales executive, right? Because I have taken the row total, show value as percentage of row total, right? If I click on no calculation, so it will go back to the normal one. Any question on this? Just try to create this. Go to matrix visual and drag and drop job roles, job satisfaction, and employee count. Give me thumbs up once you are done.
Job satisfaction, actually, I'm getting the full score. How do I split it into 1, 2, 3?
How are you getting it?
I'm getting some for healthcare representative, it says 365.
Yeah.
But how do I split?
Job. Which one do you have taken? Job satisfaction?
Okay, 1 minute, yeah.
We have 4 options: 1, 2, 3, 4. Job satisfaction.
Okay. I'm just quickly sharing my screen.
Okay.
So when I take job satisfaction, I'm getting this.
Okay. So what you have done is just go back to the report. Click on back to report.
Okay.
And yeah, so what you have taken is you have taken table. So we have taken metrics. We have to take metrics. So click on the visualization instead of table. Yeah. No. Just go back. Yeah. Click on metrics. Right. And click on this one. You have selected table, right? In the visualization, it is highlighted. Just
This
go
one.
down.
Okay.
Mouse. Yeah. Uh, so just select the table. Yeah. Go up, slightly down now.
Okay.
Yeah. That one.
Okay. Here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the one you have selected. Now right hand side where you can see the blue cells in the table.
Oh, it shows here. Okay.
Go down, left, up, right. One second. Sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Below,
No.
below this. Yeah, below R. Sorry, left hand side of R.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Select this. Finally, perfect. So this is my metric start. You remember when we were discussing theory, we had table visual, we had matrix visual, right? This is where the difference is. When we use table visual, in table visual, we'll just have a tabular format. We will have 5 columns the way we have in Excel table, right? In metrics, we will have rows, we will have columns, and on that basis, we can have values. So there are 3 aspects. In table, there is just column headers and rows. In metrics, we will have row headers, column headers, and then the values between. So now you have selected this. Rows are job role, perfect. And you can see job satisfaction is coming under values. Go down. Yeah, just drag job satisfaction from values to the columns rows.
Job satisfaction from values to
Yeah,
columns.
columns.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Got it. Okay. Okay.
perfect.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So everyone else is able to get this?
And for percentage, what did you say? You
So if you go to this one, now you're done with this. If you
yeah.
click on values, click on this
Values.
down.
Okay. Okay.
Click
Yeah.
on show
Okay. Got
value
it.
as. So these are
Okay.
the options: percentage of grand total, percent of column total, percent of row total. So whatever makes sense to your understanding, like
Oh,
you say,
got
um,
got it.
yeah. So row total will give me percentages for just that particular row
The-
job.
mhm,
Column total will give me for one for job satisfaction,
mhm.
and grand total will be one percentage of 1470.
Got it.
So how about others? Mitra, Nidhi, Neha, and I think
Yes, I've done. Nidhi here.
wonderful. That's great, Nidhi. You're done with this. Anything I can help with, Mitra, Neha?
So whenever I am touching the data, it is affecting the entire thing, huh?
Is
The
it
metrics,
affecting as in what exactly?
the the visual, the visual thing for other charts also getting affected when I'm clicking on a particular, like when I'm clicking manager, I can see the.
Of course, yeah. For example, if I click on manager, it will change everything else like this. Yeah, yeah. No need to worry. This is what Power BI is for. So this should work like this. So that's the best part of Power BI. It's all interactive. So if you want to understand analysis for just manager, it will be like this. So I'll just explain you how it should be more interactive. Currently, if I click on manager, this is how it is looking like, right? But I want to have complete filter out. So what I'll do is I click here on the visual, click on format on the top, and click on edit interactions. Once I click on this, and then click on this filter, right? Now see the difference. If I click on manager, these are same as it is. This remains the filtered part. So now I can see in the manager, uh 27 females are 45 to 54, 20 are 45 to 54. If I deselect manager, or let's see 25 to 34, 3 and 4, total 7 employees are there. If I deselect manager, 25 to 34, you can see there are so many employees, more than 500. Yeah, so this is the best way to filter out. So what you can do is go on format, edit interaction, and do the same for these chart as well, right? So I can just deselect interactions. Yeah. So now if I go to laboratory technicians, so all these are in R&D, so only R&D is selected. The number of employees for each department is shown. This is shown. If I unselect this, if I select R&D, I can see for others as well. I can do again the interaction and do the filter for all those for that particular visual. Nice. So Mitra is done. Shivashri, Nidhi, and Neha.
I'm done now, Atika.
Great, Shiva. So you're also done. And Nidhi and Neha?
Yeah, I've already done.
Oh, wonderful. And Neha is also done, I guess.
Yes, yes, I'm done. I'm done.
Great. So one more aspect that we have to add here is conditional formatting. So now that we have created this, I want to like instantly see which are the big values, which are small values. So sometimes it's not easy for the naked eyes, right, to understand which in that. So I'll just do the conditional formatting. For that, I will go to again the format your visuals, and then I will go to cell elements. If you click on cell elements, click on background color, right? you will instantly see the heat map kind of image. If you go to FX, and you can change the color. For example, I want to have from light orange color to dark orange, and click OK. So you can see this is the heat map. I can see the most impact is 112, 95, 90, 91. That's why it's dark color. Whichever is light, that means it is less value. So 10 is less, 12, 13 is less. So 69 is predominantly high, 75, 80, 90, hundreds. So this is important. So just try to implement the conditional formatting on it. Let me know everyone once it's done. Come on, guys, it's done.
Yeah.
You just have to, I'll just tell you again, you just click the visual, go to format your visual, click on cell elements, just turn on the background color. That's it. And just see the series employee count, it should be selected only. But it is default, so you don't have to worry about it. Nice, Neha. It's done. How about Nidhi, Shivasri, Mitra?
Yeah, I'm done.
Wonderful. So once this is done, there is one more thing that we can do. So as we have this format painter in Excel, right? So whenever you want to copy the same text or font or colors, you just click on the original visual and click on format painter and paste somewhere so that the same formatting happens, right? So what I'll do is same in this also. I'll just click this thing, click on format painter and click here. So it will give me the same format. So everything is same, right? And here I can make some changes, like if I go to format your visuals, and let's say background is background is fine, and let's say I want to change the grid. I want to create a minimal kind of layout, and if I go to column headers, I want bold headers, and it should be centrally aligned, right? And for headers of rows, let's say I want some bigger font. Yeah. So this is how you can use the visuals. Let's create one line chart. Let's see in the data. So what kind of line charts we can create. If I want to see the employees data for number of companies they worked for, and if this impacts the salary. If you want to see the analysis of employees, if their monthly salary increases or decreases on the basis of number of companies they work for. So I just want to see number of companies worked and monthly income, only two columns. So I'll just go back here. I'll use my scatter chart. So let's figure out where is scatter chart. This is my scatter chart. Click here. And now I'll just say here number of companies worked for. So this is x-axis and I want monthly salary. Click here. It is y-axis, right? And again, the employee count, where it is. So it should not be like this. Yes. If I see here, my total number of companies worked is 0 to 9, which is perfect. Now I am seeing all the incomes, but let's say I want for average. Yeah. So now if you see all the employees, if the number of companies they worked is high, there is no ideal positive correlation. So if there is a positive correlation, like if my company's number of companies work for is high, that means the income is high. So that means the line should be like this, like linear regression that we work for, line, straight line. Here you can see if number of companies they work for is somewhere 1 or 0, like it is the first company, so their salaries, average monthly salary somewhere here, right? Whenever my number of companies is increasing, it is not increasing straight away like linearly, but it is somewhat, if number of companies work for is more than 3, like these values, so it is somewhere in these bracket of a monthly average salary. So you can see if any employee, he has worked for at least 2 companies, you won't be seeing his salary less than 6,500. So this is what it shows. So we can use scatter plot to analyze two fields. For example, here it is income versus number of companies worked. And if you want to see, let's say, if let's say education field depends or make impact to the salary. So what I'll do is, instead of number of companies, and I'll just do education in the x-axis. And now you can see the difference for high school, which is obvious. If you're a high school pass out, that's it. Average salary is somewhere around less than 6,000, right? If if you have masters, so it is more than 6,500. If you have bachelor's degree, somewhere around 6,500. Associates, less than 6,500. And if you have doctoral, it is more than 8,000. So this data makes sense, right? So I can sort by, let's say, average of income. So you can see here high school, and then associate's degree, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral. So it is increasing if you have a better education. So that makes sense, right? So this is where we can use scatter plot, right? So this is kind of linear in that sense. So just try to make this scatter plot. In this, I want my x-axis title. I want.
Is there by any chance that we can increase the size of this working area?
This working area.
Yeah, as in where the.
No, I mean, this is good enough. So you don't need to increase the size. Like if you feel you have so many visuals to put on, So there are two ways. You either create new pages or like in general, it should not be more than 5 or 6 visuals on a page, because
Okay.
just think about it. Like if your team member comes up with the dashboard and she or he shows you a dashboard and it has more than 10 visuals, you will get confused, right? So there are so many visuals, what to look at, what not to look at, what is important, what is not. So it is a best practice to have just 5 or 6 visuals on a page, and that way it is very impactful. Have multiple pages. Let's say page one is to understand employee distribution, let's say. So this is just a basic one. Let's say now second one is you want to analyze attrition. What is the impact? What is the reason? So create a new page for that. Have 3 4 visuals. Third one
Okay.
can be performance, performance metrics, let's say. So
Okay.
just have, yeah.
Yeah, I got your point. Atikant, one more question is that say if I need to transfer these particular charts to another, say, Microsoft application. Let's say, okay, not micro, maybe a PPT.
Mhm.
So the data fields, it won't affect the chart, right? I can just copy and paste it. How do I go about it?
First of all, you cannot copy like this. For example, you just copy this and paste in PPT. It is not possible. So
Okay.
one way is take a screenshot, straightforward, simple approach. Take a screenshot of it and add in the PPTs. And the more professional way is to publish this PPT and then add it in on PowerPoint. So I will explain you tomorrow that is very easy.
Okay.
So once
Okay.
you open a PowerPoint, and let's say you have created your dashboard, you have created your PowerPoint, and somewhere you want to add a dashboard here, so that in PowerPoint only you are able to explain the dashboard. You can easily embed, you can easily embed your visual dashboard on your PowerPoint. So for that, you need to publish this. So once you click on publish, after saving, once you publish this, you will be able to update in app.powerbi.com. That's the website portal of Power BI. And from there, you will get the link. From that link, you can easily embed or add in PowerPoint. And that is very nice. It is a professional way of doing it.
Okay.
I will explain you tomorrow, this one.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
But are you able to understand how we are creating the visuals on it? And are you able to create the scatter plot?
Yeah, I'm just doing that.
Okay. Oh, great. Mitra is done with it. So now we are left with the 10 minutes today. What I would suggest is if everyone is free tonight or free tomorrow morning, try to go with the tutorial, like just try to understand how it is happening, just try to learn more things and ask me tough questions tomorrow, so that we are able to crack dashboard making. I really want by tomorrow's session, once this is end, everyone has amazing dashboard that you can publish on LinkedIn also. You can show it to the world, like this is my first dashboard, we created this and that and all those things, so that it is really nice. You feel you have achieved something, and then you get motivated to create more on your company's data, and then do editing, do cleaning and all those things. So I would need your support on it. Just think about it so that we can create impactful dashboard. So everyone has time tonight or tomorrow morning, whenever you can take out time, half an hour, 1 hour, and try to learn about Power BI, what is happening. Like write notes, like I don't understand this and that, and ask me tomorrow morning, tomorrow session. So that will be great, because this is how we can utilize the time, utilize the resource, utilize the session effectively. And trust me, on YouTube there are so many tutorials on Power BI. and those are all free. So you can just go on YouTube, just search Power BI tutorial easy for beginners, for example. Just try to watch it for 1 hour or so and see if you're able to work on it. What are the challenges you feel are there, and working on this Power BI stuff. We worked on Power Query also, right? We edited the header. So there, that is again a different thing. There are so many things that we can do on Power Query. So if you have something on that, then we have data modeling part. So if we have multiple tables, how to connect them, right? Let me know once everyone is done with the scatter plot.
Yeah.
Yes, Atikam, I've done Nidhi.
Nice, Nidhi. Mitra is
Yeah.
already done.
I'm also,
Shivashri,
yeah, done.
Neha is also done. Great.
Done.
So one more thing, I'll just add the labels here. So if you see, these are all markers, right? So I can change the type of marker. I want to have squares. Let's say I want to have cross. I want to have, let's say, triangle. I want to have line, simple line on that, or plus sign. So depending on the scenario, you can have anything, right? And then I can have different sizes. I can have different colors. I want to have, let's say, dark blue, right? Spacing can be taken care of, right? So this is something we can work on. Yep. So this is fine. One more thing before we end this session. Let me just remove the size of it. Yep. I will add the slicer that we were talking about in the presentation. So this is my slicer. Let's say I want to add a slicer of gender. So I add this over here, right? I can format paint and add this like this, for example. And let's say I add it over here. So this is my slicer. So what will happen is, currently this dashboard, it has everything, right? It shows for male as well as female. Now I just want data for females. So I'll just click on female. So all the data changed for female. As you see here, HR data for HR, there are 20 females. If I unselect female, you'll see there are total 63 HRs. Out of 63, males are 43, females are 20. You can see here, right? So it will help me to understand data even more. I can have more filters. I can have a slicer for attrition, right? I'll select here. If attrition is no, that means all these employees are my current active employees. So you can see here 51 employees are there in HR who are currently active. If I unselect this, total are 63. So attrition is for 12 employees, right? If I click on yes, attrition for HR is 12, right? I can have more slicers. Let's say I want to have age slicer. And you can see here, when you have multiple values in a slicer, the best way is to create a drop down. So if you click here, okay, just go into the format your visual slicer settings. In the style, instead of vertical list, click on drop down. So now you will have a drop down, and now you can select from here 18, 19, 20. Let's say you want to see analysis of people who are of the age 20. Let's say click on 20. So there are 11 employees whose age is 20. Out of 11, 6 are in R&D, 5 are in sales, 9 have done bachelor's, 2 are just high school, right? Under 25 total are 11. Six are female, 5 are male. You can see out of 11 employees of age 20, 3 are laboratory technician, 3 are research scientist, 5 are sales representative, right? Out of 5, 1 is not satisfied at all, 2 are somewhat satisfied, 2 are totally satisfied, right? High school salaries less than 2000, bachelor's somewhere around 2700. Yeah. So this is what you can do. And if you have to clear it, you can just click on this eraser sign, click on this, and then everything will be cleared. Any questions, guys?
Not as of now.
So that's great. So this is the, I'll just save this so that we can continue from here. Just tell me so far what we have done. Uh, any questions on it? Was it fine? Was it hard? Was it easy? I just want to know from your end so that we can create even more advanced on it, because this is important. Power BI, if you are able to learn, trust me on it. Like in Australia also, many people use Power BI. Like majority of people, they use Power BI, and it really enhances uh, on the term of maybe like recruitment, in terms of salary growth, in terms of promotion, in terms of everything. Like if you can add this stack in your profile portfolio, it will really help. So I really want us to utilize this session, and it will be really impactful for lifetime. So till now, whatever we have done in Power BI, please shoot the questions. We have 5 minutes.
As of now, we have done it parallelly along with you, so I think it's okay. But then I think we will have to play around this with our own data so that we understand a little bit, and then I think we might have questions definitely. That's my
Yeah.
observation.
Yes. So to answer this, Siva, I really want you today, maybe with new data, but I would
Yeah.
suggest just stick with this data itself, but create a new Power BI report. Just
Yeah.
click on new and get data from the step 1, and try to do it yourself. Just don't do anything. Try to do it yourself and see where you stuck, and write the questions. What are the problems, and try to solve it yourself,
Yeah.
right? And also, whenever you get stuck somewhere, use Chat GPT. It is very important for us to be productive. It's not, we are all humans, no one remembers everything. So wherever you get stuck in Power BI itself, just type on Chat GPT, hey, I am working on this data, I am doing this and this, I'm stuck with this, help me out. So it will provide you the steps, and mostly those are accurate. So I am really happy with the results of Chat GPT and any other tool. So just focus on that. First of all, understand the concept. So as I said, like, try to once this session is over, take a break, maybe after dinner or something, whenever you are free. Try to work on it so that tomorrow's session is more impactful.